cheery
Yep.
color choice.
Yeah.
At least it's not like green letters. That's really smart. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Deep cleansing breath. You're all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Take it away.
Good morning. Today I'll be presenting on how technology in the automotive industry affects job growth in the U.S. Okay. Some quick background. Automotive technology is always changing year by year to make factories more productive. And so with that change comes change in job growth, but in different ways. So firstly, high technology jobs are growing quickly because of the advancement of technology. The advancement of technology also increased low technology related jobs, and the progression of technology should in return decrease the skill level needed by employees. So after reading through the stimulus packet and choosing two articles, which were Derek Thompson's A World Without Work and President Richard Nixon's address to the nation on Labor Day, there were two specific quotes that I could take which I easily connected, which were technology could exert a slow but continual downward pressure on the value and availability of work. And from Nixon's speech, recently we have seen that work ethic come under attack. So these two connect between technology and America because technology is putting the impression that Americans don't necessarily need as high as a work ethic as before technology has gotten to the point it is, which affects job growth in return in the automotive industry, which led to my question, which is with an increase of technology in the automotive industry in the US, does job growth in the automotive industry decrease? So my first view is that advanced technology jobs are growing exponentially. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 8 out of these 10 jobs in this table are considered to be high technology occupations, which consist of repairers, operators, technicians, and jobs of that sort. And after seeing this information, it makes it appear that these jobs are growing really quickly and that they'll be the primary source of jobs in the future. But for example, like computer technicians, if we looked at that, it's growing by a 97% change, but that doesn't account for a lot of jobs, even though it has a high percentage change year by year, which is something that needs to be considered when I was looking at the data. But automotive companies can still use this to their advantage because since cars are being controlled by more technology and controlled by computers mainly, they need computer technicians to make sure that the technologies work the way that they need to be. So this is helping this number change so drastically. But like I said, percentage terms doesn't necessarily mean a high number of jobs. So 97% change in computer technicians only resulted in 53,000 jobs year by year. So that was something that I had to consider when looking at this data. The next view I looked into was how the advances in technology will increase low technology related jobs. This is also information based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the most rapidly growing jobs in absolute terms are not involved in advanced technology areas. And so advanced technology or high technology jobs are those that require a high understanding of mathematics, science, and other areas that underlie technology. And even though these jobs aren't growing at a high percent, they still account for a large majority of job growth year by year. So for example, a building custodian, it's only growing by 27%, but it counts for over 750,000 jobs per year. And even though this number is a small percent, it's still relevant to the automotive companies because since technologies allow for automotive companies to build more cars and make more profit and open more factories, they need building custodians to moderate buildings and make factories able to be ready for the next day, because every day there's something going on that needs to be reset for the next day's work. And so this is why building custodians are relevant in the automotive industry and a reason for this number to be growing so high year by year. The last view is the last view I researched was progression in technology will lower the skill level needed by employees. And going back to the Derek Thompson piece, which was one of the articles I used to help formulate my research question, and when he mentions technology could exert a slow but continual downward pressure on the value and availability of work, this just pretty much means that certain technologies can lower the value of employees' work because technologies can do so much more than people, like how productive they are and how much they can do in a certain amount of time, which would lower skill requirement needed by factory workers, for example. So the trend of simplifying technologies makes the progression of this lower skill level needed by employees go up. So if we put the same thought process of simplifying technology in the automotive industry, Ford is a great example of this. In 2008 to 2012, they mainly used robots to build their cars, and it wasn't involved with humans. It was just mainly robots. But Ford saw this as being an issue because it didn't allow for many employees to be on the manufacturing floor. And so in 2008, they switched to a technology called cobots, which allows for a robotic arm to work with another human to physically put the car together, so it's not purely robots. And when they did this in 2012, they saw a job increase by about 25,000 jobs. And so even though there still needs to be, even though there's people on the floor working with robots, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing high complicated work like high technology jobs. They don't necessarily understand the mathematics and all the technology sciences behind it, but it's still allowed for 25,000 Americans to have a job working in factories. And this is another reason why low technology related jobs go up, because Ford has, and not only Ford but other automotive companies use strategies like this. So in conclusion, there isn't necessarily one view that's realistic right now. They're all realistic just in different points in time, and they also go hand in hand. So the first view is realistic in our current day because technology is becoming more simple to use each year in factories and just in general. And the number of employees that are needed to work on those technologies is also going up. For example, a computer technician. And it's a realistic view because more technology that's introduced into the automotive industry comes with more need for operators, engineers, technicians, like jobs of that sort. The second view is also realistic. If technology keeps advancing the way it is right now, for example, cobots, if technology keeps going the way it is where humans need to work with the technology, this view will be realistic. And the last view, this view will only be relevant if technology becomes more autonomous, because if technology becomes more autonomous, then the amount of low skill level jobs needed will also go up since technology will be doing most of the work. So that is my presentation.
All right, Davis, in your research, as you're going through and gathering information, you're synthesizing it, is there information that you felt like you needed and you couldn't find?
Yeah, there's definitely information that I wish I could have seen. Like, I wish I could have seen more numbers from the companies. It was really hard to find numbers directly from like Ford, for example, or Dodge or any automotive company. It was mainly found for me in articles or academic journals on technology that I found. So I wish I could have found or done more research and gone more in depth to find those numbers directly from the company, because I think that would have further helped me understand how technology actually does affect job growth, and also how it could affect job growth in different parts of the world, not just the US.
Okay. And after going through this process and doing this research, can you talk a little bit about how maybe your thinking has changed, like stuff you didn't even know before, or opinion that altered as you gathered your information?
So definitely my thought before doing this information was that technology just kicked out most of the people in the automotive industry because robots could just do all the work. But after reading about Ford's technology, like the cobots, for example, where humans could work with the robot, and how that introduced 25,000 jobs about in 2012, that definitely, after reading that, it changed my whole view on the whole topic, because after knowing that, it's almost like if that can be the case in the automotive industry, then building anything with robots, that should also be the case, because that'll allow for better employment in the US. And I know that automation isn't only in the manufacturing process of cars, and so if other companies saw that and took that into consideration, I think a lot of things could change in the US, which would be beneficial to the economy. So that was something that definitely changed my thought.
Super, thank you.